Good morning. Ah, fucking hell. It's Thursday today. Ah. Oh, got a letter through the door. How exciting. Okay, so just woke up. Oh, I need a little time to wake up. Can you read that? So, gonna finish this cup of Joe. Head out. All I'm looking for is another book. I also may well go around asking some more places if they've got any jobs available. So, as you can see by now, in these videos, I don't usually eat any breakfast at all. I don't normally wake up feeling any sort of hunger whatsoever. If anything, quite the opposite. I normally wake up feeling quite sick. Not normally, occasionally. I don't feel sick this morning waking up. I feel okay. Just a little bit tired. And a little bit pessimistic. I think that's normally the major characteristic that I wake up with is like pessimism. I think it's state influenced, meaning if I'm tired, I'm much more pessimistic. So I usually wake up feeling and thinking really negatively. I guess just towards the day ahead. Now, that's not always the case, and I do sometimes wake up feeling super excited and optimistic for the day. That doesn't usually happen. Even then, it's, even then, I still have to shake off the sleepy feeling. So, yeah, I wish it didn't have to be that way. I wish I could feel good or feel great all the time. But I don't. One thing I've learned about myself, which I would always actually give as advice to other people, is don't make any sort of rash decisions upon waking up. What I mean by that is it could be easy to sort of wake up and be feeling that pessimism, negativity, reluctance to, let's say you have a job, you wake up and you go, oh no, I really don't want to go to work, right? I'm sure lots of people get that. I think once you realise, within about half an hour and a couple of cups of coffee and, starting to chat away, those feelings are all gonna go away and then you'll be okay. So I think what I'm saying is, when you wake up and you get that wave of negativity, once you realise, oh, that's what's happening, that's what it is, and then you realise it's not going to take long for you to feel better, then you don't do anything silly like say, oh, well, I'm not going into work then, because I don't feel like it. And I do kind of understand that. Like, you could wake up and go, I don't want to go into work. So you just go back to sleep. But then it's not going to be too long before you start looking for another job or whatever. Like, if you don't show up at that job, you're probably going to lose that job. And then you might think, oh, yay, this is good, I've got no job. I can just get up whenever I want. And yeah, you can. But I think at some point you still will think to yourself, oh, I kind of liked having that job. And then you have to figure out, well, what went wrong? What was it that happened that brought that situation about? And if that's what it is, then I think it's important to understand what's going on. So yes, I'll reiterate the same information. Yeah, when you wake up, for a short while, you might not feel so great. With a little bit of time, you'll feel much better. So in that first hour after waking up, don't make any important decisions. Give yourself a bit of time. Just like Oasis said, need a little time to wake up. Need a little time to wake up, wake up. Funnily enough, he knew what he was talking about. Alright, time to get out. Let's go start the day. Ooh, it's nice and brisk out here. It's not cold. It's not too cold. It's nice though. Good for a change. Anyway, what I was thinking about is it's just going to be another repeat of yesterday, today. Oh shit, I forgot my backpack. Okay, I need to go get my backpack. That's what I need. Ta-da. Element skateboard. Explain why I need it. The reason I need it is because when I went out yesterday I realised I could use this. Bought a book, ended up carrying it around. Don't like having to carry things in my hands if possible. Rather get it in the backpack on the bag. In the backpack on the back. Okay, good explanation. Right, let's try it again. Back outside. Okay, hopefully we'll get this right the second time. You know what, I'm going to make sure there's nothing else I've forgotten. I think I forgot my earphones as well. Oh my god, I did. Jesus Christ. Oh, I've not done that for a while. Forgetting two things twice in a row. Right, hopefully there's nothing else. Let me do a quick check. So it's keys, wallet, phone. Right, keys, wallet, phone. That's a good start. Then it's going to be camera, earphones. Okay. Right. Keys, wallet, phone, camera, earphones. That's what it is. That's what you need. That's all you need. I know the Beatles said, all you need is love. It's not true. All you need is keys, wallet, phone, camera, earphones. That's all you need. So, what are we doing? Where are we going? Heading down again towards the train station. Ooh. Or I could get a bus. I don't know if I should save money or spend money. It's been a bit of a conundrum recently. I did start thinking I don't want to be spending quite as much. But you know, bought a book yesterday, that was 12 quid. Got the train yesterday, that was 12 quid. So that was 24 quid. If I do that every day, how much is that? I also probably bought a few cups of coffee. So I guess yesterday I probably spent around, I guess, probably at least 30 quid. Probably 40. I'm not sure if that's too much for one day, or if it evens out. I've got to try and keep this vlog interesting. So, and also I just got to keep my life interesting, just for me. You know, primarily. I've said that word a lot in these videos, primarily. It's not a bad word. Anyway, soon as I start paying attention to my habits, that's usually when I start to think about how to change my habits. Because some things that you never really talk about to anyone, but you always do. Like how I always go to this shop, get an energy drink. That's like my own personal private habit. But once you start talking about it, and you realise that's what you're doing, then you start thinking about, well, is it a good habit or a bad habit? And I'm not really sure, but either way, I'm going to go to this shop and get the energy drink, just like always. Okay, I'm nearly there. Let's go. 2 of these bad boys. You have to get 2. Well, you don't have to get 2. I say you have to get 2. That's all just nothing that I just said is correct there. There's no you in that. There's no have in that. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I usually get 2, and that's because there's a £1 minimum spend on card. So that means if you want to pay on card and you just want energy drinks, then the minimum you have to buy is 2, because that's £1. Oh, you understand, don't you? Am I over explaining this? So, yeah, I'm gonna drink those. If I got any change in my pocket, just get 1. I looked through my pocket, no change. Well, a little bit of change, 20p, something like that. And so, not quite enough to get one of these drinks. Right, so yes, I think that's the plan for today. It's still going to be revolving around books. Looking at books, buying books, reading books, okay? Later on, when I go back to the house, I'm going to read more of that book. Your Brain on Music. Now, I've not really found it too interesting so far. I've only done a few pages of that one. Prince Harry book I found very interesting, and whilst I was reading that, I found it quite easy to get sort of absorbed in the story and to quite enjoy reading that one. This music book has not quite managed to capture my attention yet, but who knows, I should give it a fair chance, and maybe I'll just read it anyway as a practice of patience. It is preferable to read something that I enjoy reading. But I think now I'm just committed to the practice of reading these books, and it's a hell of a lot easier for me to read through something. If I'm reading it out loud to the camera, that seems like the perfect combination for me. You know, reading by myself quietly in my head. Seems like most of the time I'll just read a little bit and then I'll go, why am I doing this? And then I get quite bored of that very quickly and then give up on it. So I want to keep reading things that I'm interested in. So like that Jimi Hendrix book. I am very interested in Jimi Hendrix. I think he's a very fascinating person, even now. Even with all the time that's passed. So I'm gonna go find a book about another interesting person, and then add that to the collection. The thing is, if I go out buying a book every day, this can't just keep going on like this, because I'm going to end up with so many books, I'm not going to be able to read through them quickly enough compared to how quickly I'm buying them. So maybe I should set a limit to how many books I can buy in a row. Or maybe I'll just go until I've completely run out of money. That's another option. Just keep buying books until there's no money left. There's nothing else that I really need to buy right now. Thinking about it, I've got a few like urgent bills that keep sending me letters saying you owe us this money and stuff like that. I'm not planning on paying them, but I'll see what happens. I know I definitely want to keep buying books. So yeah, that's that. So nearly at the train station now. Gotta figure out how long the wait is, and then head into Manchester again. Oh dear, why am I doing this again? I don't know. I really don't know. It feels like I'm just operating on autopilot sometimes. And I think that is what I'm doing. 1:05 train to Manchester Airport is cancelled. Service cancelled due to a train member unavailable. The next available train to Manchester Airport is at 1:22 on platform 2. Okay, that means I've got about half an hour. Go grab a ticket and then probably walk into town when I go to Greggs. Okay. It's very, very quiet today for some reason. Noticed it as soon as I came out of the house. There's nobody on the train platform whatsoever. I feel like it's very rare to see that. It's normally lots of people. Not sure what's going on. Maybe nothing's going on. It might just be completely random. Quick buy. Oh shit. Prices went up at one point. Seems like they've gone down again now. Or maybe it was about the time of day or something, I don't know. Or maybe it was about it being Christmas period. I have no idea, but it's back to $12.60 for a day return. It's not too bad. That's for me to go into Manchester and then come back. So I guess, how much is that? £12.60, £6.30 either way. I think it is worth £12.60 to go into Manchester and come back, because there's a lot more going on there than there is here. And yeah. Alright, so still got a bit of time between now and the train arriving, because of the one that's been cancelled. So I'm gonna go to Greggs, I reckon, and get black coffee. Alright. This is unfortunately incorrect. It's nice to have a bit of delusional optimism, and it would be great if it was great. But I've not yet seen the change. I look forward to seeing the change. I hope this place becomes the best place in the UK, as that little picture says. But I think right now I'm highly critical. But it could just be a case of, like, once you've had enough to eat, food doesn't look so appetizing. I think that's all it is. Spent enough time around these parts, getting bored, same streets, bored, same crap, different day. Okay, so got the coffee, now back to the train station. Just waiting for the train, probably got about 10 minutes. Gosh, there was a very tense atmosphere in that waiting room. Just sat there, drank my coffee. I'm gonna go to the platform and wait. I need to debate as to whether I should stick my earphones in, play some music. It does sound like a good idea. I want to keep getting more footage, really. Just got the train, Oxford Road station, and the first place I'm going to go is HMV, right? HMV in the Arndale, I think. Look for some posters. Posters, CDs and books. That's what we're doing. Just trying to do a little bit less, listening to music a little bit more, getting video. It's hard for me because I really love listening to music. Just listened to Reuben, one of my favourite bands ever. Their lead songwriter is called Jamie Lemon, and he's a creative genius. He recently retired, basically, or he says he did, but he's still playing shows, or he's still playing sort of a limited amount of shows, and he's still releasing stuff on his Patreon. I think it's Patreon, but I paid for his Patreon. because I'm a big fan. I really like the guy. I'd love to see him keep releasing more music. When he said he was retiring, I was like, oh no. But he's not really retired. It's a bit like my dad. My dad always says he's going to retire. He's always like, I'm going to retire soon. And he's like, he started saying that like 10 years ago. And he's still working. So it's, you know, don't always believe what you hear. It's hard to actually stop yourself from doing something if you really love it, if you're really passionate about it. Something like making music. It's quite hard to actually convince yourself not to do it. Because what else are you going to do? You've got to do something you really like all day. Otherwise you're not going to be happy, are you? You know what I mean? Okay, so I got all that shit I was talking about. Got a cool poster. Bob Marley. Looks pretty dope. He's got his dreads. It's looking sick. I'll show you that in a bit. And then I've got 3 books as well. Who was it now? Jim Morrison. The Life and Times of Jim Morrison. Shit, what were the other ones? I'm trying to think what the other ones were. I'll show you in a bit. I think right now I'm gonna get the hell out of this cesspit. It's really terrible. Again, it's like just stupid people, morons. So, got Red Bull content, finished the mission. I actually need to start getting that wall sorted. If there's one other place I could go, it's probably the, forget what you fucking call it, what's it called now? That hipsterish place. I know where it is, can't remember what it's called. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to leave yet. I'll head there, have a look what they got before I head back. So I'm trying to fill that entire wall with posters. So I made a very small start, and I'm gonna have to keep doing more if I'm gonna fill the whole thing. Should look great by the end. It's gonna be really colourful, and loads of different artists of all kinds, just people that I like. Anyway, you'll see it. Alright, it's just been to that there, Affleck's Palace. That was what it's called, couldn't remember the name. That's the name, Affleck's. Got some posters. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus the one I got from HMV. 6 posters. So, I'll show you more when I get back. See what I got. Got a variety of stuff. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Radiohead, Nirvana, The Police, some other ones. Show you in a bit. Okay, right, I think I'm gonna get out of here now. This is, it's a lot. So, I'm gonna get the hell out of here now. Go hop on the train. Go to Oxford Road, it's a bit further away, but I don't mind. So yeah, I got a great trip to Panic Posters. Plus HMV, got 6 posters, got 3 books. Damn, it's great. Love me a nice book. Now, that's it now really. When I get back, I have to decorate that wall like I was talking about. Make it look cool. So that room is going to be super colourful now. It's going to be proper nice. I've got the armchair in there, you can sit down, relax. Thinking about what I'm going to do with that room. What I reckon I'm going to do is put the CD stereo system in there and then get all the CDs organised. And I don't listen to the CDs much because I've got Spotify, always listen to music on my phone. And then if I listen louder, then just connect to the Bluetooth speaker and use that. That's what I always do, so I've sort of, CDs sort of become obsolete, it's like I was saying. But it's crying shame because I've still got them all. I've still got the thing. And I don't want to stop using them. So basically, even though it's a bit old school, I think I'll set it up in that room with the posters in it and make it super colourful and interesting. That'll just be a great place to sit, listen to music, look at all the pictures. You know, like a busy kind of room. A lot more going on in terms of visuals, in terms of audio, lots of sounds, lots of sights. So that'll be really cool. And then the other stuff, it's just going to be lots of books. Get them stacked to the shelf and then slowly work my way through each one, little by little. It's not always that easy, you know. It's not always that easy getting through a book unless it's a great read. Like I said, the Prince Harry book was actually a really good read. I enjoyed reading that one. And what am I thinking? Yeah, I've got to finish off this music book. And the next one's going to be the Jimi Hendrix one. And then I got the 3 that I got today. One of them is Jim Morrison. The other 2, fucking can't remember what I got. But they'll all be interesting. It's all stuff that I like. So I'll show you all that in a bit. Can't wait to show you this wall once that's finished. It's going to look absolutely brilliant. Okay, nearly at the train station. Probably about, I don't know, a few hundred meters away. Not sure whether to get one more coffee before heading back or just call it a day, hop on the train. Probably just go hop on the train. In the train station. I think it's about half an hour now. It's a long wait. It's usually a bit faster than that. However, these trains are actually very unpredictable. You never quite know what's going to happen. There's always going to be works on the line. There's always going to be trains getting cancelled. That creates delays. Goes on and on and on. Anyway, just while I'm here, I'll show you. Show you the books that I got. If you're interested, one by one. First thing, oh, this is the one I forgot about. The Story of the Streets. Mike Skinner. Now, if there's a musical artist that I love and have loved for a very long time, it's The Streets, Mike Skinner. That guy is just awesome. Okay, next book. Being in Manchester, Oasis Supersonic, the Sunday Times bestseller. I'm sure everyone's read that one at this point.
Okay, next one. This one's Jim Morrison, life, death, legend. Stephen Davis, author of Hammer of the Gods. Interesting. And then my favourite queen, Dua Lipa. Got this magazine about her. Discover the pop sensation's incredible journey to global stardom. 4 A3 pull-out posters inside. That's pretty cool. She is absolutely beautiful, hey? It's hard to deny it. And I love her music. I think she's very talented. As I love Jim Morrison, as I love Oasis, as I love Mike Skinner, all in their own way very talented. The Doors are such a great band. I've been sticking on a few of their tracks recently, and they just get me going, man. Break on through. That's just great, isn't it? Light My Fire. Too many great tracks. So, like I said, more reading on the way, more books. Gone a bit OTT today. Not sure how much money I've spent. If all these posters are $5.99, then 5 times $5.99, that's 25, plus a fiver, that's 30, minus 5p, that's $29.95 just on those 5 posters. Then I got another one from HMV, that's Bob Marley. Not sure what that one cost. Not sure what the books cost either. I'd say a rough estimate, I probably spent around about 60 quid out and about here. Add that onto the 12 quid for the train ticket, coffee at Greg's, Red Bull from Tesco. Gosh, I don't know, probably 70 quid in total. That's not too bad, I can live with that. I always just think, well, when the money runs out, the money runs out. And I'd rather be spending my money making my surroundings more beautiful and surrounding myself with more of the things that I like. So that's what I'm doing. Posters of my favourite bands. Now you could say, what is the point in a poster? And I think it's a fair question to ask. My answer to that question would be, the point in a poster is to state your preferences through the visual representation of those who are adorning the poster. So if I have my wall covered in posters with the pictures of the artists that I like, that makes a statement when people come in. This is what this person likes. Now, it's nice to know another person's likes, another person's tastes. And the reason for that is that you can communicate based upon your knowledge of their interests. So, for instance, if you know I like Jimi Hendrix, then if you also like Jimi Hendrix, that's a great way to start a conversation with somebody, isn't it? I'd say that's how I've met a lot of my friends, is through a shared interest. I think about two of my sort of closest friends at the moment. One of them had a skateboard, so I said, "Hey, nice skateboard. You skate, I guess." "So do I." And that's how we started talking. And that's how our whole friendship started. And that's how it went on for years and years and years. Just by showing an interest in a mutual, just by starting a conversation about a mutual interest. In that case, it was skateboarding. But it also happened that another good friend of mine, he saw me walking down the street. I started walking past him, and I was wearing an Oasis shirt. And he said, "Oh, nice shirt, man. Yeah, Oasis are fucking great." And I said, "Yeah, they are." And then we stopped and we had about a 30-minute conversation in the street. And that's how our friendship started. And so, for me, I really think if you're someone who's not got any mates, I mean, everyone's got mates, but if you've not got any close friends, the more things that you can do for yourself and to sort of just decorate yourself, decorate your surroundings in an interesting way, it creates a connection point for other people to actually be able to start a conversation with you, because they become aware that you have a shared interest and it gives you something to talk about. And then that relationship, that friendship can start from there. And that could be just a friendship, or it could be a romantic relationship. It doesn't really matter. You've got to, as they say, put yourself out there. I think literally what that means is just, you know, don't be afraid to wear your heart on your sleeve. Be loud and proud and bold, and own who you are and what you like. And that's a really good connection point for you to meet people at. That whole last 5 minutes of conversation sounded like something ChatGPT would come up with. There's another interesting question of, now in the sort of in the new age of our species, have we all become a little bit AI? Like, do we all now just sound at times a little bit like AI? Do you ever find yourself talking and think, wow, I really sound like AI here? You know how whenever you talk to ChatGPT, it's unrelentingly positive. No matter what you say, you can insult ChatGPT or whatever as much as you want. They'll always just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then try to provide information and say, "Is there anything I can do to help?" etc., etc. It just never expresses anything negative at all. And it talks in a very formulaic way. And sometimes I find myself talking like that, and I'm like, wow, it's happened. The human AI hybrid has arrived. It's me. But then I'll do something very ridiculously over the top just to balance that out, to make myself just make it clear to be known I am a human being and I'm not AI. Okay, gotta wait for this train to go past, hang on. Holy fucking shit, that was the longest train ever. There was so many fucking carriages on that thing. I guess it's like a cargo train. I was waiting and waiting and waiting so I could get this next shot. And Jesus, that took ages. Anyway, what was I talking about? AI. Human AI hybrids. It's kind of like, that's the man with the camera, isn't it? That's the person with the smartphone. That is the human AI hybrid, if there was one. David Icke's always talking about this. He says, first they want to get you to hold something. So I guess that's a camera or a smartphone. then they want you to wear something. I guess that's like smartwatch, stuff like that. And then now that they're on the body, now they want to get in the body. It sounds really creepy. Yeah, David Icke's always talking about that. And fair enough. You know, that's his opinion. I'm not so pessimistic about the future. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't have this like super negative outlook on how it's going to be so terrible or anything like that. I actually think it's going to be pretty good. Talking about the future, my immediate future is just to hop on the train. This is not my train. This is Glasgow Central. At least I don't think that's my train. It's not normally Glasgow. I did say it's going to be half an hour, so it is quite a long wait for that one. I think the one I want is the Blackpool North, or I think Windermere as well. I think I can get either one of those. So yeah, just heading back to Chorley. Chorley, Charlie, and then got lots to do as always. More fun to be had. More videos to be made. More conversations to be had with Cameron the camera, who's keeping me company. I think I've coined that phrase now after my recent video where I just spontaneously created that name for my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Oh shit, here's a good story. When I was in flipping Panic Posters, had my camera in my hand, wasn't filming, just holding on to it. I guess I put it down on the counter as I handed the guy in Panic Posters the posters, 5 of them, so that he could check me out or whatever. And then paid for the posters, walked off, left my fucking camera on the desk. So the guy that works in Panic Posters sort of like came rushing around the corner and said, "Oh, is this yours?" Here's my camera. And I go, "Oh yeah, I've been needing that." I go, "Oh shit, if I fucking lose this thing, I'm actually going to be gutted. I swear to God, honestly, I'm going to be so gutted if I do lose it." And then I guess if I lose it, I'll just have, I will just, the first time I've got the money to get another one, I will just buy another one straight away, because I really fucking love this camera. It's so awesome. I love having it there to talk to. I love making the vlog so far. This like new beginning that I've just come across, this new start in like the way to live life, filming everything, well, filming as much as I can, it's really reinvigorated my actual passion and enthusiasm for life again. Like I've become really, really happy as a result of having done this, made this decision. So I'm just going to keep doing it. I genuinely am. I don't think anything's going to stop me at this point. It's going to be interesting now to see how this journey progresses, and obviously there's loads of people that I know of who've been doing this for way longer. You know, I've just started like a week ago, and I'm just realising things every day, just thinking about little bits and pieces of information about you know, just sort of recognitions and realizations that you have as you progress with any sort of life path, any choice you make to do whatever it is you're doing. And it's those little moments where something clicks and I'm like, oh, that's great, or I realise something and it's just something now makes sense, or I suddenly get a joke that someone's made because I'm now going through the experiences to make the joke make sense. And I'm really just, I guess, taking my little chance to just be thankful, just be grateful to be able to do this. I really feel lucky, I really feel blessed. And I just want to carry on at this point. I'm so excited to see where this goes. Right, anyway, gonna take another break, listen to some more music, and hopefully this train will be here soon. Fingers crossed. Okay, cut. Just got off the train back from Manchester. Back in Charlie. Okie dokie, karaoke. Heading back to the house. It was quite a pleasant train journey. Not too bad, listened to music the whole way. And apart from that, there's not a lot going on. Just a very pleasant train journey. I've had many very pleasant train journeys. So they're not all that bad. There's definitely been a few times where I've been like, oh God, I'd rather not be on this one. But you know what? To give the trains fair and due praise where fair and due praise is due, they mostly are quite alright. And obviously a lot of people who work for the train service to keep that thing running, it's not always perfect, but it's definitely very good. It definitely runs almost exclusively, incredibly efficiently most of the time. So you've got to give them their props. Anyway, what's next is I don't know. I guess cut for a bit. Probably stick the music back on. Okie dokie, karaoke. Alrighty then. So the posters have gone up. The posters have gone up. Check them out. Bob Marley. Everybody loves Bob Marley. Everybody loves Bob Marley. Bobby. Alright, Bobby. Nice dreads, mate. You been smoking that ganja again? Cheeky bugger. Right. Arctic Monkeys. Got the cool crystal ball green Arctic Monkeys poster. It's a bit low resolution compared to the other posters I've got. I think they've blown it up a little bit too big, this one. There's a bit of feedback there for Panic posters. Don't overstretch your images. Otherwise they come out looking a bit grainy. So I'm a little bit bothered by that. But you know what, apart from that, if you go from a distance, it looks great. So it says, Arctic Monkeys with special guests live at the Fillmore in Detroit, Michigan. That was on February 12th, 2014. It was sold out. I imagine it was a great show. Showing you this one before. Dua Lipa, Glastonbury headline, June 2024. And that's the Radical Optimism tour. Dua Lipa, Radical Optimism, Glastonbury 2024 headline. Worthy Farm, Pilton, England, 28th of June 2024. I love the colours on this poster. And it's cool. Dua Lipa's upside down. She's like hanging from her feet, I guess. Her hair is when she had the red hair. All dangling down. You can see a little tattoo with the heart. And it's a cool picture. She's looking pretty. Pretty Please. You know that song by Dua Lipa? Pretty Please. It's a great song. I'll give you a little blast, hang on. Exactly where I want me. Hey, underneath your body. Hey, if we take it further, I don't know the words. Baby, don't blame me. Baby, don't blame me. Baby, don't wind me up. That's why. Can't do this. I know that I seem a little stressed out, but you're here now, and you're turning me on. I wanna feel a different kind of tension. Yeah, you guessed it. The kind that's fun. I hate it when you leave me unattended, 'cause I miss you and I need your love. When my mind is running wild, could you help me slow it down? Put my mind at ease. Pretty please. Oh yeah. I need your hands on me. Sweet relief. Make me feel so pretty. Can you help me out, please? I love that. Anyway, more posters. So, here's the next part of the wall. That is the Police. I don't know if you guys know the Police. It says the Police 1980. It's a nice picture. Got Stuart Copeland there. He's the drummer. And you got Sting. He's a guitarist and a singer. And then you got Andy Summers. No, shit, wait, I've messed this up. Sorry. Sting was the bass player and the singer. Andy Summers was the guitarist. Righty-ho, righty-ho. So, obviously, my Police knowledge is not quite up to scratch, so forgive me. I'm sorry. Okay, next one. Radiohead. I don't know all the names of Radiohead. I think I will have to learn now at this point. I think that is Johnny Greenwood. I think. That is Tom York. He's the obvious one for me. Anyway, next one. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pull your socks up. The chilies are coming. Not sure if I can show this on YouTube because of the pubic hair. But oh well, it's on a poster. Oh, there you go. Fight Like a Brave. New single on 7-inch and 3-track 12-inch remix. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers are, from left to right, that is Jack Irons, Hillel Slovak, Anthony Kiedis, and Flea, whose real name is Michael Balzeri. Right, next one. Nirvana. There's Nirvana. And it says October 1990. And Nirvana are Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, and Chris Novoselic. So, there we go. That's that. I've got some more posters on the wall. And I'm going to get some more. I need some more smaller ones. Like that Dua Lipa one over there. You can see the size of it compared to the Bob Marley. It's much smaller. And these ones are all the same size, I think. Oh no, the Bob Marley one's bigger. A little bit bigger. So the Bob Marley one was from HMV. And then it was Arctic Monkeys, The Police, Radiohead, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Nirvana. They were all from Panic Posters in Manchester. Panic Posters is inside Affleck's Palace. And I believe it's on the first floor. And it's not a bad shop. It's quite nice. It's got a cool vibe. I sound like an old man. Oh well. Oh well. I'm not an old man. Anyway, that guy in Radiohead looks like Joe Rogan to me. At least on that poster. Oh, right, okay, sorry, train of thought. Right, so what I was saying was I need to get some more of these smaller ones to fill the gaps. So where you can see here, that Dua Lipa one, could probably fit another 1, 2 below it, and then maybe 1, 2. Wait. Oh wow, look at all that room. Right. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 above it, and then like another 1 or 2 here. So that's 5 and 2, that'd be 7. Then I could go all the way across the top here with other ones. That would be good. Could go all the way into that corner over there. Then I've got these walls. Oh, hey, Dua Lipa. These walls. Okay, then I've got these walls. This one, this one, this one, and this one. They're all just grey. And do you know what we think about grey? Grey, grey, grey. Go away. That's what we say about grey. We don't say that. I just made that whole thing up. You know, it's not bad. It's that it's grey, but it's plain, it's blank, and I'm trying to decorate, you know. Use your palette to fill the blank space on the canvas. And this here is my canvas. Right, anyway, this wall. This wall has got little birds, little pink birdies, and flowers. And I didn't choose that, by the way. This was this was already here when I bought the house, and I just never changed it. So I reckon I'm gonna start to spice that one up as well. I think I'm just gonna spice up everything. It seems to be the case that every time I end up with this house to myself, I just start sticking as many things as I can possibly find on every surface, decorating everything with colour and character and creativity and all these interesting patterns of beautiful, beautiful stuff, right? And that's just what I like to do. I'm an artist at heart, I would say. That's how I describe it. I'm an artist at heart. And I love to create and to decorate and to see what comes out from my imagination and from the imagination of others. And obviously, music-related stuff is always what I like. So I shall be, for as long as I have the money to do it, I shall be. What was that? Oh. I shall be spending as much money as I can. As much money as I can? Wait. I mean, if I can get them super cheap, that would be great. I wonder if there's anywhere else to get cheaper posters. When I say cheaper, I don't want them to be cheap because I want them to be high quality. I want high quality posters for a good price. And you know, if there's two places that have high quality posters and one of them selling a bit cheaper, but they're the same high quality, then you'd be a fool to choose the one that's more expensive, unless you actually prefer the experience of shopping in that shop that had the more expensive posters. This is something I've come to realise, is that you're not just paying for the product, you're paying for the experience. And people will pay much more for the product if the experience is better than it is elsewhere. So calculate this. How do you create a better experience for a customer? There's lots and lots and lots of things you can think about. I would say the number one thing is
hire staff, hire people who are likable, nice people with magnetic personalities who are attractive and that people are naturally drawn to, people who people are naturally gravitate towards. And when I say attractive, I don't mean sexually attractive. I mean physically attractive in the sense that people are just drawn to them. I mean, how else do you get customers? To get customers, you have to physically attract them, meaning they need to physically enter your premises. And if they don't, then there's no purchases. So, how do you encourage people to enter the premises? Well, people have much more reason, whether it's subconscious or conscious, within their understanding. It is often people that bring people into places. It is not always just the fact that they are going there for a specific product or service, although that is what people will say because they wouldn't like to admit to being physically attracted to another person. Now, like I just said, physically attracted doesn't necessarily mean sexually attracted. I would say those are different things. They can be related, and possibly if you're more physically attractive, you could be more sexually attractive, because it makes sense. But when I say physically attractive, I'm more referring to the fact that within certain businesses, there will be certain people who, because of their magnetism, they are much more likely to have a higher number of customers enter their business. That's just the way it is. You could have two coffee shops on the same street in the same place. If you get the right people in the right place, then one of those coffee shops could outperform the other based on the people who are working there, their ability to actually bring people in. And it comes into lots of different brackets, like, are they well liked? Are they well known? People will go into places to see people they like. People will go into places to see people they know. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes people will go into places to see people they don't know, but they won't go into places to see people they don't like. Because that doesn't make any sense, does it? Why would you go into a place to see someone you don't like? The thing where it gets complicated is the fact that there could be multiple people working in one place, and they could have very varying characteristics and personalities and experiences that they've been through that have made them into very different people. So let's talk about a coffee shop, for instance. There could be 4 people that are working in a coffee shop. Now, you could go into that coffee shop for a coffee because you want a coffee and you like that place enough. It has a decent enough of an atmosphere that you go, oh, it's quite nice in there. And the people in general are nice enough to make you want to go into there. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Let's say you go into a coffee shop and you go there regularly and you start to get an idea of your preferences as to the people who work there. On certain days, you see a certain person, you go, oh, yeah, he's all right, isn't he? I like him. Or you see another person, you go, oh, I'm not sure about them, I don't like them. Hang on. So you start to acquire preferences. Now, this isn't a conscious choice that you make, although you may be aware of it. It's a reactive state that occurs to you based on the effect that a person has on you. Now, you can get into a very complicated grey area here, whereby you could both like a person and dislike a person, or be ambivalent, meaning you could take them or leave them, and you're not too fussed either way. And people are a complicated mix of all sorts of ways and emotions and actions and reactions. And there's lots of people who you might like them 1 minute and then dislike them the next minute and then go back to liking them again. And so I always call them flip-flops. People who are nice to you 1 second, not nice the next second. That's not unusual. That's not it's not like, oh, you're not allowed to be like that, like all these oversensitive little idiots say. That's what lots of people are like. You have fluctuating states, fluctuating modes and moods and ways of being, and you have to deal with it whether you like it or not. And here's the kicker: if you're the kind of person who says, "Well, I don't like those kinds of people who change their mind all the time," it's like you're one of those people. Everyone is. So just don't be a hypocrite, and don't be so silly coming up with these stupid ideas. Because I heard all this stuff before, and it just pissed me off. I ended up thinking, okay, you're an idiot, and we're not going to be friends anymore. Sorry, bye. Anyway, I'm very happy with my new collection of posters. Arctic Monkeys, Bob Marley, The Police, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Radiohead, Dua Lipa. I really do believe these are all brilliant people who've created really great music. I could go into depth and detail on every single one. And I reckon I will at some point talk about every single one of these different bands and their entire musical history as it is known to me. Because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm fascinated by knowledge and learning and developing. I wouldn't say developing my intelligence, because I don't believe that's intelligence necessarily, but developing my memory and my knowledge of different subjects, of areas of interest. And I have to say, my main area of interest is music. Anyway, this has been a big long 20-minute clip, so yeah, I blue tacked all that stuff. I'm back in the house, and so now, I'm not sure what time it is. What time is it? Okay, it's going on 5 p.m. So, I'm going to cut the camera for a bit and see you in the next clip. Check this guy out. Cool party pineapple gnome with sunglasses, a disco ball pineapple. Dressed like Elvis Presley. Crazy stuff. So cool. I got that from Asda. At one point I bought loads of these. Itsu crispy seaweed thins, sea salt. I ate them at Itsu as a little snack. I was like, ooh, they were really good. Should get some more of them. Oh, they're still good. Yeah. Alright. Now, whenever anyone comes round to my house, I always like to show them my clock. I've got a really cool clock. I got it from this crazy little shop full of cool stuff. And it's so awesome. The details and stuff. And it's the sun and the moon. I really love that thing. It's one of my favourites. I like to fill my house with cool things. It's nice to be surrounded by objects that you like, and pictures and sounds and things that are pleasing to the senses. That's what I like. I think that's why you like to surround yourself with people that you like. The people that you like are the ones that please your senses the most, usually. It's gonna go dark for a second. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom! Ah! I'm scared. I'm not scared. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I'm gonna chill out for a bit, and then, like I said earlier, we're gonna have to read some of the book that we started on. This Is Your Brain on Music by Daniel Levitin. That's what we're going to read. Alright. Hope you're going to look forward to it. Okay, so I'm listening to an interview with Jimmy Donaldson, otherwise known as Mr. Beast. And say hello to the genie. Hello, genie. Are you going to grant my wishes? I love the genies. Such a great film. It was my favourite when I was a kid. I just think the genie looks so cool. He's so cool, the genie. Anyway, so yeah, I'm making some food. Just put the oven on. I've got this huge, how big is it? Let's have a look. Oh, I've got this massive 14-incher. Mighty meaty. I need to spread that out a bit more. It's got loads of meat on it, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add even more. Can't believe it. Look, I've got this black pudding. Slice it up. This is James's Crazy Cooking Show. Welcome to James's Crazy Cooking Show. Today, we use a Fray Bentos pie as a chopping board in order to slice up some black pudding. After we've sliced that up, we're going to stick it on a 14-inch Mighty Meaty. It's going to be delicious. I bet you can't wait to see the results. Okay, right, there we go. Chop the black pudding up. Yes, you heard it right, folks. I did use a Fray Bentos pie as a chopping board. Right, now, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, oh my god, it never ends, 14, 15, look at that, Jesus, That is a lot of black pudding. I use an entire log, I guess. Yeah, I'd refer to that as a log. A log of black pudding. Anyway, so let's stick this bad boy in the oven. Oh yeah. We're going crazy, baby. Woo! Okay, shove it in. See? Okie doke. Right. Sweet. Then wait for that to cook. And what I was going to do then is I was going to nip to the shop and grab some wine. Just going to get a bottle of wine. Have a bit of a drink of that. Eat the food. Continue listening to Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Should call him Mr. Best because he's the best YouTuber. Okay. Yeah, my jokes are really great. Right, anyway. So I'm going to go next door, get a bottle of wine, and then I'm going to start having a nice little suck on that. Yeah. Yeah.
The ultimate problem is I
Yeah.
upload so many videos, so we have so many viral great ideas that I want to bring to life.
Okay.
It's like
Be right back.
other creators I think are happening.
Alrighty then.
The problem is I'm not if you would have asked me like
Okay.
a year ago,
Mr. Beast, just pause you for a second. Here's what we got. Wine. Hardy's Nottage Hill. A Shiraz. Tasty. Let's read it. Okay. Hardy's Nottage Hill. Thomas Hardy's pioneering vision and passionate spirit for winemaking is at the heart of each outstanding range of Hardy's wines. Inspired by our founder's nephew, Thomas Hardy Nottage, and his commitment to winemaking, our Nottage Hill range of wines are vibrant, full-bodied and rich expressions of classic grape varietals. Okay. A fruity Shiraz filled with juicy cherry and blackberry flavours, complemented by hints of sweet spice and vanilla. Their Facebook is Hardy's Wines, hardyswines.com. Wine of Australia, Southeastern Australia 2024. Bottled for Accolade Wines Limited. Weybridge KT13 8TB. UK. Where's that then? Weybridge. Okay. By W1745 UK. Imported into the EU by Accolade Wines Europe Trading Limited. Dublin 4 Ireland. Learn about our environmental strategies at accoladewines.com/carbon. Then we've got a whole load of stuff. Right, okay, so that's the Shiraz. I won't do the rest of them like that. I'll just show them. Okay, next. Abbey Royal Cream. Fortified British wine. Superior quality. Sounds good. The Shy Pig. Juicy red. Ooh, baby. Okay, so I think I'm going to start on the Abbey Royal. And we'll see how that is. Oh dear. Please don't fall over camera. Let's see what this tastes like. Abbey Royal. Pretty nice. Yeah. I like that. Really nice. Oh wow. That is really good. Fair play to you guys. I'd say the label looks quite understated, but really the drink speaks for itself. That really is delicious. Superior quality, Abbey Royal Cream, fortified British wine. Now, the cream component, you can really taste that. I don't know if it has got cream, so to speak, in it. Let's see what it says. It says Abbey Royal Cream, fortified British wine, produced to a traditional recipe. Abbey Royal Cream exhibits all of the smoothness and mellow flavours which you would expect from a superior fortified British wine. Well, it's delicious. I would definitely drink that one again, for sure. I'm not going to try the other ones just yet. I'll just stick to one at a time for the moment. Finish off that one before I start the next one. Right then. That pizza's cooking. Let's see how it's doing. Not bad, not bad. Another few minutes and it'll be done. Right, okay. Gonna go back to listening to this video. It's on Colin and Samir, and the video is called Mr. Beast on Beast Games. So, I'm gonna carry on listening to that, alright? Right, so you saw that fucking gigantic pizza, right? Here's how much is left of it. Quite a lot. I'm not even sure if I made it to the halfway mark. Jesus. Tell you what. Beard meats food. Hats off to you. Ba-down. Because it ain't easy. It ain't easy being green. That's what Kermit the Frog says. Anyway. Oh my god. I'm so full. Right, I'm going to leave that for in a bit. I'll polish that off. Anyway. So, what I said was, for now, what we're going to do is we're going to read that book. I'm not looking forward to it. I didn't enjoy the start of it, but fingers crossed, it'll get a little bit better. Who fucking knows? It might get worse. Right. Point that up a little bit. There we go, magic. Grab that. Okay, here we go. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was God. Okay. No. Right then. Jim Ferguson, whom I have known since high school, is now a professor of anthropology. Jim is one of the funniest and most fiercely intelligent people I know, but he is shy. I don't know how he manages to teach his lecture courses. For his doctoral degree at Harvard, he performed fieldwork in Lesotho, a small nation completely surrounded by South Africa. There, studying and interacting with local villagers, Jim patiently earned their trust until one day he was asked to join in one of their songs. Until one day he was asked to join in one of their songs. So typically, when asked to sing with these Sotho villagers, Jim said in a soft voice, "I don't sing." And it was true. We had been in high school band together, and although he was an excellent oboe player, he couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. Okay. The villagers found his objection puzzling and inexplicable. The Sotho consider singing an ordinary, everyday activity performed by everyone, young and old, men and women, not an activity reserved for a special few. Our culture
and indeed our very language, makes a distinction between a class of expert performers, the Arthur Rubinsteins, Ella Fitzgeralds, Paul McCartneys, and the rest of us. The rest of us pay money to hear the experts entertain us. Jim knew that he wasn't much of a singer or dancer, and to him, a public display of singing and dancing implied he thought himself an expert. The villagers just stared at Jim and said, "What do you mean you don't sing? You talk?" Jim told me later. It was as odd to them as if I told them that I couldn't walk or dance, even though I have both my legs. Okay. Singing and dancing were a natural activity in everybody's lives, seamlessly integrated and involving everyone. The Sesotho verb for singing, hobina, as in many of the world's languages, also means to dance. There is no distinction, since it is assumed that singing involves bodily movement.
Like, if what you're doing, you just stop.
Stop! Okay. 1 second. Just going to make a quick phone call. Hey!
Videos, mate.
What's that?
I was just videos.
Oh, man. Come back. I've got 3 bottles of wine. You want to help me drink them?
Alright.
Yeah! Yeah!
What kind of wine? Red.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, they're all red. Yeah, they're all red. Are you gonna come round?
Yeah. I'll only 10 minutes.
Yeah! Where are you? Where are you?
At the train station.
Train station. Oh, right. All right, man. See you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey.
Oh dear. Okay, so he's coming round in 10 minutes. Great. All right. Where was I up to? Oh, here we go. A couple of generations ago, before television, many families would sit around and play music together for entertainment. Nowadays, there is a great emphasis on technique and skill, and whether a musician is good enough to play for others. Music making has become a somewhat reserved activity in our culture, and the rest of us listen. The music industry is one of the largest in the United States, employing hundreds of thousands of people. Album sales alone bring in $30 billion a year, and this figure doesn't even account for concert ticket sales. The thousands of bands playing Friday nights at saloons all over North America, or the 30 billion songs that were downloaded free through peer-to-peer file sharing in 2005. Americans spend more money on music than on sex or prescription drugs. What? They spend more money on music than they do on sex. Well, you don't have to spend money on sex, do you? Anyway. Given this voracious consumption, I would say that most Americans qualify as expert music listeners. We have the cognitive capacity to detect wrong notes, to find music we enjoy, to remember hundreds of melodies, and to tap our feet in time with the music. An activity that involves a process of meter extraction so complicated that most computers cannot do it. Why do we listen to music, and why are we willing to spend so much money on music listening? 2 concert tickets can easily cost as much as a week's food allowance for a family of 4, and 1 CD costs about the same as a work shirt. Hang on, I want to read that again.
2 concert tickets can easily cost as much as a week's food allowance for a family of 4. Interesting. And 1 CD costs about the same as a work shirt, 8 loaves of bread, or basic phone service for a month. I really like that comparison that they just made. That's very interesting. Understanding why we like music and what draws us to it is a window on the essence of human nature. To ask questions about a basic and omnipresent human ability is to implicitly ask questions about evolution. Animals evolved certain physical forms as a response to their environment, and the characteristics that conferred an advantage for mating were passed down to the next generation through the genes. A subtle point in Darwinian theory is that living organisms, whether plants, viruses, insects, or animals, co-evolve with the physical world. In other words, while all living things are changing in response to the world is also changing in response to them. If one species develops a mechanism to keep away a particular predator, that predator's species is then under evolutionary pressure either to develop a means to overcome that defense or to find another food source. Natural selection is an arms race of physical morphologies changing to catch up with one another. A relatively new scientific field, evolutionary psychology, extends the notion of evolution from the physical to the realm of the mental. My mentor when I was a student at Stanford University, the cognitive psychologist Roger Shepard, notes that not just our bodies but our minds are the products of millions of years of evolution. Our thought patterns, our predispositions to solve problems in certain ways, our sensory systems such as the ability to see colour, and the particular colours we see, are all products of evolution. Shepard pushes the point still further. Our minds co-evolve with the physical world, changing in response to ever-changing conditions. 3 of Shepard's students, Leda Cosmedes and John Tooby of the University of California at Santa Barbara, and Jeffrey Miller of the University of New Mexico, are among those at the forefront of this new field. Researchers in this field believe that they can learn a lot about human behaviour by considering the evolution of the mind. What function did music serve humankind as we were evolving and developing? Certainly the music of 50,000 and 100,000 years ago is very different from Beethoven. Okay, let me think about that again. Certainly the music of 50,000 and 100,000 years ago. Is very different from Beethoven, Van Halen, or Eminem. As our brains have evolved, so has the music we make with them, and the music that we want to hear. Did particular regions and pathways evolve in our brains specifically for making and listening to music? Contrary to the old, simplistic notion that art and music are processed in the right hemisphere of our brains, with language and mathematics in the left. Recent findings from my laboratory and those of my colleagues are showing us that music is distributed throughout the brain. Throughout studies of people with brain damage, we've seen patients who have lost the ability to read a newspaper but can still read music, or individuals who can play the piano but lack the motor coordination to button their own sweater. Music listening, performance, and composition engage nearly every area of the brain that we have so far identified, and involve nearly every neural subsystem. Could this fact account for claims that music listening exercises other parts of our minds, that listening to Mozart 20 minutes a day will make us smarter? The power of music to evoke emotions is harnessed by advertising executives, filmmakers, military commanders, and mothers. Advertisers use music to make a soft drink, beer, running shoe, or car seem more hip than their competitors. Film directors use music to tell us how to feel about scenes that otherwise might be ambiguous. or to augment our feelings at particular dramatic moments. Think of a typical chase scene in an action film, or the music that might accompany a lone woman climbing a staircase in a dark old mansion. Music is being used to manipulate our emotions, and we tend to accept, if not outright enjoy, the power of music to make us experience these different feelings. Mothers throughout the world, and as far back in time as we can imagine, have used soft singing to soothe their babies to sleep, or to distract them from something that has made them cry. Many people who love music profess to know nothing about it. I found that many of my colleagues who study difficult, intricate topics such as neurochemistry or psychopharmacology feel unprepared to deal with research in the neuroscience of music. And who can blame them? Music theorists have an arcane, rarefied set of terms and rules that are as obscure as some of the most esoteric domains of mathematics. To the non-musician, the blobs of ink on a page that we call music notation might just as well be the notations of mathematical set theory. Talk of keys, cadences, modulation, and transposition can be baffling. Yet every one of my colleagues who feels intimidated by such jargon can tell me the music that he or she likes. My friend Norman White is a world authority on the hippocampus in rats, and how they remember different places they visited. He's a huge jazz fan and can talk expertly about his favourite artists. He can instantly tell the difference between Duke Ellington and Count Basie by the sound of the music, and can even tell early Louis Armstrong from late. Norm doesn't have any knowledge about music in the technical sense. He can tell me that he likes a certain song, but he can't tell me what the names of the chords are. He is, however, an expert in knowing what he likes. This is not at all unusual, of course. Many of us have a practical knowledge of things we like, and can communicate our preferences without possessing the technical knowledge of the true expert. I know that I prefer the chocolate cake at one restaurant I often go to over the chocolate cake at my neighbourhood coffee shop, but only a chef will be able to analyse the cake to decompose the taste experience into its elements by describing the differences in the kind of flour, or the shortening, or the type of chocolate used. Okay, I think we're going to stop there. Your brain on music.
So, yeah, you heard the phone call. I think Lewis is going to be here soon. So, we're going to have some drinks and hang out. Okay. All right. Just had a drink with Lewis. Watched some YouTube videos together. Now he's gone. So, I'm going to have to end the video for today here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it all. Much love. Back again tomorrow for more supreme shit. Bingo. See you later, folks.